The community charrette on March 27th provided us with a significant amount of feedback and information on Plainfield West that we have been able to use to further our visioning study. Our charrette focused on two key intersections that had been previously identified as potential future TODs, Grant Avenue and Clinton Avenue. During the charrette, citizens from the various neighborhoods in Western Plainfield gave us key insight, opinions, and commentary that helped us progress our planning process and begin to envision lively and dynamic possibilities for the future. The existing zoning map, as per the master plan, allows for many of the uses we believe would be most beneficial to the city. We have made only a few alterations, the most notable change being on West Front Street. This change and others will be discussed in detail in our proposal. The existing land use map demonstrates the features of Plainfield West we took into consideration in our visioning process. The parks, especially Greenbrook, play an important role in this community. Presently, Phase 1 drawings of the Greenbrook Trail have been completed and will be soon out to bid for construction. These paths connect to both Clinton and Grant Avenues, both of which have street-side parking. Adjusting these streets to accommodate for bike paths will allow safe routes for bike riders down these roads. The bike loop is completed on 2nd Street, providing a connection between Clinton and Grant Avenues. After identifying the other parks throughout the southern side of the tracks, we enhanced the bike loop in Plainfield West to include these additional green spaces. Along with increasing bike paths and ridership in Plainfield West, there are many opportunities at the edges of Greenbrook to enhance usage of the park and engage the Plainfield West community. In addition to the parks, other existing land use elements include established residences in yellow, industrial lots, vacant lots, community programs, and the 2 historical train station sites. Our proposals take consideration of the susceptibility to change map, first highlighting sites most immediately susceptible to change in yellow. These sites include vacant lots and buildings that could be developed in the near future and are included in Phase 1 of our proposal. Sites with medium susceptibility to change are highlighted in lighter yellow and include sites currently in use but which we believe could ultimately better service Plainfield with different uses in the future. They are discussed in Phase 2 of our proposal and are considered to be more long-term changes. Some of the sites notated as susceptible to change are also brownfields, which was determined based off of information given to us by the city. As of now, we have not been able to determine the full scope of brownfields in Plainfield West, nor the type and severity of contamination. Our drawings and discussions with the community at the charrette established Clinton Avenue as the primary TOD hub with the possibility of a future Plainfield West train station. In conjunction with the TOD at Clinton Avenue, the charrette developed Grant Avenue as a community-based amenities and services hub, including retail and recreation. In our proposal, we continue to develop what was initiated at the charrette. Recommended Phase 1 land uses surrounding Clinton Avenue includes adaptive reuse, mixed use, residential, and an intramodal hub. This intramodal hub is designed to serve as a placeholder for a future train station. This hub occurs at the corner of West Front Street and Clinton Avenue, connecting to and accommodating pedestrian, bike, jitney, and existing bus routes. This intermodal hub is a feasible short-term alternative to a long-term goal of a train station and could begin to develop the density and services in the adjacent buildings required to create and sustain a future Plainfield West station. Land uses around the Grant Avenue Community Hub include recreation, city regional commercial, and mixed use. In addition, we identified infill lots on 2nd Street, development of which would improve the street conditions and increase safety. While building typologies have been developed at both hubs, we will first focus on those at Clinton Avenue. The intermodal hub could incorporate green open plazas surrounding the intersection at West Front Street and Clinton Avenue, surrounded by mixed-use 2/1 and 3/1 buildings. The Mack Truck building is an important opportunity for adaptive reuse and could be converted into residential units. A prime example is the Kinko condominiums in Jersey City. Once used as a factory by the American Can Company, the structure has been recently converted into loft housing. The Mack Truck building could become mixed use with 3 levels of residences, retail at the bottom, and parking in the back adjacent to the rail line. 2/1 units have been placed across the street from the Mack Truck building. In addition, we have identified Bradford Street as a location for 2-story residential units with parking in the back that can be shared with the 2/1 units on West Front Street. This section shows a transition from the industrial building at the rail line to the mixed use across the street and to the 2-story residential units at Bradford Street, with the building height stepping down to accommodate the 1- and 2-story established residences on the other side of Bradford Street. This enlarged section at West Front Street shows a widened sidewalk across the street from Mack Truck building to allow for benches and cafe seating. This image reveals the potential for the Mack Truck building to contribute to an animated TOD district, adding the density needed to create a viable TOD, all the while celebrating its industrial heritage. In Phase 2 at Clinton Avenue, we consider the prospects of a train station and recognize that both sides of the track would then need to be utilized for the station building, along with its platforms, shelters, and drop-off and pickup zones. Today, the sites south of the train tracks are zoned industrial, including a recycling and pallet company. Should there be a Plainfield West train station, these sites could be used for housing and retail, with an effort to maximize parking to capitalize on the limited parking capacity in Dunellen. Typologies here can include mixed use to further increase density around the station with either residential or office spaces, the latter of which could support retail shops and restaurants during the day. Complementing a TOD at Clinton Avenue, we consider Grant Avenue as a community services hub located conveniently for Plainfield West citizens, as well as with efficient access to Route 22 to bring in additional consumers and visitors from outside Plainfield. This particular lot, located north of the tracks, is the appropriate size for a medium-sized supermarket with the necessary parking. Across the street from the supermarket, additional housing in varying forms can be implemented. While the old Grant Avenue station is also an appropriately sized site for a larger supermarket, it is also a highly viable location for an indoor sports complex that could become both a local and regional destination. Rahway's Center Circle provides us with a successful example of this typology. Complementing this typology would be smaller retail stores and restaurants across 2nd Street and smaller infill lots. The pairing of the sports complex and local stores and restaurants across the street could create a neighborhood bustling with activity well into the late evening hours. Phase 2 at Grant Avenue likely sees the ironworks as a continuing sustained business, which could be complemented by additional light industrial footprints or larger scale commercial and entertainment buildings. Our proposal is meant to provide a comprehensive vision of the possibilities and their alternatives at Clinton and Grant Avenues. In conclusion, we hope that our vision and suggestions provide inspiration for citizens and demonstrate the immense opportunities to strengthen both the Plainfield West community and neighborhood economy.